If you don't know anything about Xelero, what we are a motion stability control shoe. We handle a lot of variant issues. We have pronators, supinators, people with arch problems, ankle problems, plantar fasciitis is a big one, but even from arthritis to the front of the toe, even gout patients. What is so important about Xelero? What does Xelero do for the retailer and the end consumer? What it does for the retailer is it allows us to have a shoe in the store that separates us from everybody else. We're uniquely different as far as athletic footwear is concerned. We are the only shoe out there on the market that is posted on both sides. We have a very strong rear foot motion control. We have a stability control plate, landing pads, and a propulsion system. You may ask yourself, why is that important? What does that do for me as a retailer? Well, customers now are really having more foot problems than ever. A lot of soft, mushy shoes are being out there. What's uniquely different about Xelero, there's going to be a lot of brands out there putting a carbon plate in their shoes, but what we put it on is what separates us from everybody else. We have a propulsion system built into our shoe. We have a plate, landing pad, and a propulsion system. What does that mean? When I heel strike, the average person walking and running, on walking, I believe it's 3 pounds per pound of weight, which is 600 pounds on a 200-pound person, 7 pounds when they're running. So we have impact on hurt knees, lower back, running all the way through their body. Our Matrix 2020. This is the same shoe, this is the same outsole with all the features of all the Xelero that we have. It's our deepest, strongest. You can see the harness, very strong heel counter. When they put this shoe on, automatically they feel the stability, they feel the rocker, and they feel the Y part. So imagine the deepest outsole controlling that stability, and as they heel strike, they walk straight. My magic trick, I have them put the shoes on, I have them walk away from me and walk towards me, and the results have been amazing. Automatically their gait changes, automatically their heel strike is correct, and their motion is correct. And you can ask open-ended questions like, how do they feel? How do you feel right now? And the usual response is, I've never felt anything like it. That's the combination of the plate, the motion control, the stability, and having a mild rocker under your foot, helping you and guiding you to taking that next step. What I present to you is a shoe that's on a mild rocker. With all the bells and whistles that I just talked about inside the shoe, what we have is a shoe from fastest, from heel strike to toe lift on a mild rocker. We have a shoe that doesn't twist, doesn't fold this way, doesn't bend this way, and a very strong heel counter. Why is that heel counter important? When you pronate or supinate, your ankle wants to roll out or in. You notice that the customer, you take their shoes off, you notice that their shoe is leaning one way. You'll notice the cupping here leaning out the other way. Usually they tie their knot on the shoe on the inside part because they have a hard time getting to it. What my shoes do, they wear out evenly because we're based on a wide base. We're neutral. From heel strike to toe lift, we're the fastest. So what does that mean? It means the quicker from heel to toe lift, less pain. We cannot eliminate pain, but we can lessen the pain. Imagine the plantar fasciitis tissue under the foot being a rubber band. The more that flexes, the more that bends, the more that twists, the more pain they're going to feel. That all ties into stability and motion control, and that's why Xelero is so important. We introduced a 3-strap sandal. We have a thong sandal as well on the same outsole. We're the only brand in the country and in the world who made a sandal built on an orthotic, posted on both sides, a firm thermometer, so making basically an orthotic, our control plate, landing pad, and a metatarsal roll bar, all in a waterproof upper, but your toes will get wet, I promise. But have a stability shoe in a sandal. Our competition here, which they call recovery, and unfortunately there's no legal terminology to the word recovery, so a sponge can be recovery, foam can be a recovery, but true recovery limits the motion and creates stability. What you don't want to have is all these ligaments and all the tissue and all these joints spreading out because you're putting on something that's so soft. Yes, I understand. There's that instant moment when they put something soft on and they feel, oh, this is really comfortable, but they haven't walked anywhere. They haven't gone anywhere. When we come to footwear under the foot, firm and stable and motion control is actually better in the long run. Along my journey, I hear examples from other retailers, and so this wasn't made up by me. I actually heard it from a great retailer at the Atlanta Shoe Show, and they used this example, and I have adopted it, and I use it everywhere I go now because it really makes sense. If you and I were walking on the beach together and we had a mile walk to the carousel, we wouldn't walk down the middle of the beach on the soft sand. We would naturally walk towards the water, walk on the firmer sand, so that we wouldn't have so much fatigue. So what happens when you walk on soft sand? All the tendons, joints, and ligaments that we talked about spreading out, fatiguing your walk, you'll never make it. I hope that makes sense. I hope you can use that as an analogy or an example when you're talking about why soft versus firm doesn't work. So recapping and going back to where we started, we talked about our unique features, advantages, and benefits of Xelero. We talked about our mild rocker. We talked about our motion control. We talked about being the only shoe out there that supinate and pronate are taken care of by our posting, deep control in your rear foot motion control. So we provided something that's uniquely different from everybody because most of our competition is getting softer. They're taking guts out of their midsole. Their shoes are softer, foamier. We used to be the biggest shoe in the store. Now we're not so big anymore as far as that appearance on the outsole. Not being a CPED myself, I can ask open-ended questions to allow myself to figure out what the patient may need. The patient sits down in front of me. I take both shoes off. That's the first thing in controlling the sale. Measuring both feet, never telling them what size they are. So we do a variant. If they ask, I say jokingly from an 8 to a 12, let's have some fun. But as I'm looking, I'm also investigating. I have the patient or customer walk away from me, barefoot or with socks on. I have them walk towards me. I can usually see what's happening on heel strike to toe lift. I can see if they're pronating or supinating, and I ask questions. What's going on with your feet? What do your knees hurt? Does your lower back hurt? If you have any kind of pain, it all starts under the foot. So when you sell a pair of Xelero in your store, not only did you help somebody, you took their life in a better direction, but you also gained a customer. There's a high level of information out there on the internet. We have a very highly educated consumer. When they find something they like, they're going to come back to you. You are the expert in the store. You guided them into something that may not be the hottest social media hot shoe, but you changed their life and you bettered their life, all because you brought something out. You gave them something versus something instead of something versus nothing. You had an answer. You had a remedy to the issue. As far as retail is concerned, we're not that shoe that's in every big box store. We're not down the street. We protect our retailers by providing them the #1 highest dollar shoes possible. We have the highest margins in the industry. We don't change colors every couple of weeks. And we come in and we create something that you can build on with confidence that your customer is going to come back to you and not find it somewhere else. And that's also very important in retail right now. Everybody and anybody can sell shoes right now. Any kid can throw a shoe at somebody and call it a sale. But true selling right now in today's society and where retail is at right now, it's about offering features, advantages, and benefits, service above and beyond, become a destination store, be the best you can be at the store level to help your customer and create almost an environment of, if that customer went somewhere else, it was almost like cheating on you. So create that environment, make them feel special, have empathy, ask open-ended questions, and create a bond and a relationship. Xelero is the perfect brand for you to grow that business. I'm already promising you right now the highest margins, highest return on investment. You put in the work, we'll grow together, and we'll have a great ride. So I'm doing a trunk show event. I'm working at Carl's Shoes, and it's an old school shoe store, and we have a super opportunity. We have Temple University in the background. We have all these doctors recommending Xelero to Carl's Shoes in Morristown, New Jersey. And it's a pretty cool feeling to walk in and see my shoes on people's feet. And I get to ask questions and see how they feel. And they just light up like a Christmas tree because they want to share their story with me on how Xelero made their lives better. On this day, believe it or not, they still have a ticket system. So the customer walks in and they grab a ticket and they sit down and they wait patiently to be helped. A customer came in and I'm saying to myself, this customer really looks rough. She's gonna need a lot of help. She came in with the walker. She already got the 2 tennis balls worn out in the front. And I took it upon myself to help the guys on the floor to take this customer. I take her to the back corner of the store. It's the same corner where Carl Barone himself would take all his customers. So I sit her down, I take her shoes off, I measure both her feet, and I ask the question, what's going on? What hurts? And the mom is already taken back because the daughter's in serious pain. I could see the fresh scar where the previous bunion surgery was done. I can see where the pins used to be. I can see all the tenderness in her foot. She started to talk about her back and her knees, and I'm telling you, she had the permanent check engine light on. I told her that I was gonna help her, and I was gonna make sure that before she left today, that she was gonna A, feel better, B, she was gonna be able to walk a little bit easier, and that overall, I was gonna do my very best to help her. The first shoe she asked me for was our Xelero Genesis. And you know you're going down a slippery slope when the first thing they ask before you bring it out is how much does it cost? I said $194.95. She took a deep breath. I brought her the shoe. I fit her. She stands up and she walks away from me and she leaves the walker behind. I'm saying, okay, I think I think I'm being set up here. I think CBS is filming. I think maybe the Hawaiian guy is gonna come out from the back room, but I'm gonna roll with this and I'm gonna help her the best I can. She comes back, she feels it immediately, her gait changed, she's super happy with how she feels, and she says, wow, this is amazing, I never felt anything like it. I said, that's great, but I got another shoe for you. She goes, what do you got? I said, I got Matrix 2020. I think it even offers you more support, maybe for those days where you're gonna go on a longer walk. She says, honey, I haven't gone on a walk in a long time. I said, we're gonna change that today. So I come back with my shoe, I put the Matrix 2020 on her. I thought she was gonna do jumping jacks, it was crazy. So now I'm really expecting that somebody's filming me now. She walks away from me, walks towards me, smile ear to ear, ear to ear. Her mom is almost crying because she's able to walk. She's moving, she's happy, the mojo, the glow, everything is happening. She looks at my table because it's a trunk show. I had a future boot on the table. She says, how much is the boot? I said, for you today, about 240 bucks. I was just throwing a number out there. She says, can I special order it? I said, of course you can. Here we go, she takes all the shoes. Everybody's watching now. There's a 3-pair sale. She goes and rings it up. It's about $680, $700, I don't remember. The mom stands up, cries on my shoulder and hugs me. And she said, you have no idea. It took everything to get her here today. And look at her right now. She's like a little kid in a candy store. I said, hey, that's what we do. That's what Carl Shoes does. And that's what I do, being the national sales manager for Xelero. So now she's walking out and I'm playing the dumb one now. I have her walker next to me and I wait until she gets to the door. And I stopped her and I said, hey, you got your walker over here. She says, I don't need that walker anymore. I said, I can fold it up and take it to your car. She says, that's fine. Walk me to my car. And long story short, I tell people all the time everywhere I go, number one, we never judge a customer by how they look. We always try to provide them above and beyond service and never assume that somebody knows anything about anything. All I did was sit her down, took control of the sale, talked about features, advantages, and benefits. I gave her the why. She put them on, she walked around, she felt the reason to buy, and we ended up taking her life in a super great direction. And you helped 2 people with just a shoe fit, and it was a great experience. And I hope that you can have that experience. And I'll be the first one to admit, I have a bunch of stores with the same story over and over again, from Hawaii to the East Coast. I mean, it's an amazing, fulfilling prophecy for us to be able to help people and change their life in that direction.